Hello, my friends. I am Dr. Bree, and today I have a really great routine that is from you. It's a viewer's choice routine, and I actually had to write down the name because it kind of involved a whole lot of stuff that is all so wonderful. So what it is a fascia yoga flow. Plus, we're also going to do some core toning for the hips and pelvic floor. So, I mean, this is really, it involves everything. This is a total body workout, and it is a more intermediate level workout. So if you are a beginner and brand new to my channel, then I might suggest looking at the video description for other options that might be a little bit more appropriate for you at this time. Also, you could just watch this video one time through without necessarily doing it and following along and just see what you think, see what you can do, and if there's anything that looks like too much, you can always work up to it. All right, so all that being said, what we're going to be focusing on today for this fascia yoga flow, plus the core and hip toning, is we're going to be focusing on two things. We're going to be focusing on moving from our center, and we're going to be focusing on how everything is connected from head to foot, okay? So let's begin with a fascia warm-up while I talk. So I want you to literally tap with your fingertips or even your flat hand everywhere. There's no wrong answer. So the coolest thing about this is you can tap anywhere on your body and it will help you bring circulation to your fascia. So keep tapping lightly. Anywhere you want to go, you can tap more hard with the flat hands or with your fingertips nice and light. Get under your rib cage, get in your back body, get your inner thighs, get all the way down your legs. So keep going. There's no wrong answer, just tap, okay? Keep going. So fascia is a tissue, a connected tissue in our body, a membrane that surrounds all of our muscles, all of our organs. It literally surrounds everything and kind of hooks everything together from foot to head. And of course, our pelvic floor is in the middle of it all. And one thing fascia loves in order to stay supple and loose and feeling good and not tight and bound up is it loves movement. It loves movement. And so really any type of movement you can do anywhere in your body is good for your fascia. It's also good for your lymphatic system, and it's just good for overall strength. So keep tapping, keep tapping. So anytime you move your body, even your foot, you are moving the fascial system that connects everything. So that's why I want you to really focus on the fact that in this workout, everything is connected. So we're going to be doing big movements. And I want you to know that these big types of movements we're doing are impacting everything, even your pelvic floor, because the pelvic floor is in the middle of your entire connected fascial network, okay? Again, the other thing I want you to focus on is moving from your center, and we're going to explore that next. So finish up your tapping, and I also want you to do some shaking now. So shake out each leg a couple of times, and shake out your arms. Fascia loves tapping, rubbing, shaking. It loves this. It basically kind of warms it up and makes it so that the fascia is more supple, more loose, more slippery almost. So that's what we want. We want fascia and muscles, everything kind of lubing and gliding on each other, not tight and constricted, which is often how we feel when we wake up in the morning, right? Who else has woken up in the morning and felt just so stiff and tight? One reason is that your fascia it hasn't really been moving all night. And so your fascia and your muscles are stiff. So this is really good to wake things up. All right. So now that we've kind of started that fascial warm up, let's go ahead and think about our center. I want you to bring your attention right here to your pelvis. And we're going to begin with some pelvic tilts. So put your hands on your pelvis. And I want you to tip your pelvis forward and back. So keep your knees softly bent. They're not locked out, because if you're locked out, you can't really do anything. So bend your knees and tilt your pelvis so your pubic bone is going forward and your tailbone is tucked under. And then go the other way. So your pubic bone is going back and your tailbone is releasing back. Okay, keep going, forward and back. Forward and back. Now bring your drishti, we call this drishti in yoga. It's like your gaze point. Now you don't need to actually gaze at your pelvis, but I want you to bring your focus and your awareness and your attention to this part of your body, the center, your pelvic floor. Feel that lift of your pelvic floor as you go forward into this pubic bone forward position, and feel the release of your pelvic floor as your sitting bones go apart back. Again. So we're doing a lot of mobility in the pelvic floor right now. Last time. Okay. Now I want to bring some more kind of focused strength to our center. So instead of this really rocky, flowy motion, we're gonna do little mini squats. So sit back, and this is still a release of your pelvic floor, and then come up, and you'll feel that lift of your pelvic floor, almost like a Kegel exercise. So this is a release, and then a lift of your pelvic floor. Really feel that. Release back, sitting back, squatting back like you're sitting into a chair, and then feel the lift of your pelvic floor, the drawing in of your sitting bones, the elevation, the lift of it all. And again, back, release, and then exhale, lift. One more time. And this time I want you to feel that you're driving your knee up and down, and down. And I want you to feel like that motion, so keep going. You're bringing that right knee up and down. Feel as if you're driving the motion, keep going, from your center. You're moving from your center. So feel as if your pelvic floor is actually helping to drive that motion. So you're feeling the powerhouse of your pelvic floor and your low abs really turning on. So it's not just like floppy legs. It's like power from your center, and especially your pelvic floor. Do 3 more. And last one. All right, shake it out. And we're gonna do the same thing other side. So again, all of this motion that we're doing is great for our fascial system, our fascia, and it's wonderful for toning and strengthening and mobilizing the core and pelvic floor. So sitting back and up, and then let's bring in the other knee lift. So, and down. Remember, you're driving that motion. The motion, that drive, is coming from your center. It's coming from your pelvic floor. I mean, of course, everything is contributing to this. Your whole body is having to work. But I want you to really bring attention, your drishti, your gaze point, to your pelvic floor. And just think, if you weren't using your core, you'd be like floppy and weird. So strong pelvic floor right now. Let's do 2 more. Okay, good. So now, just take a minute to breathe, to just stand, hands on your pelvis. Breathing down into your low back, your low ribs. Maybe shaking out your legs a little bit if you feel like it's too much to stand still right now. You can just shake out your legs. Motion is lotion. And so any type of movement we do is so good for our fascia, so good for our core, so good for our pelvic floor. We're going to move into the yoga flow right now. So I want you to, this whole time that we're doing this yoga flow, I want you to remember we're coupling our breath with our movement. So breathe deeply and slowly. I want you to also remember that everything is connected. So even when we're doing movements at our feet, it's impacting our entire body, including our pelvic floor. And I also want you to remember to keep your attention on your center, on your pelvic floor. All right, so for our first move, we're gonna really focus on how you feel at your pelvic floor between your sitting bones as we move into a hamstring stretch and kind of an intro to sun salutations. It's like the first part of sun salutations. So inhale your arms up. Exhale, you're going to bend at your knees and your hips and really feel your sitting bones draw apart. Feel your pelvic floor release. Now inhale, straighten the legs, flat back, look forward. Feel that stretch in the back of your legs. Exhale, bend the knees and the hips, back is flat. Inhale, wing your arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold like an accordion, knees and hips are bent. Inhale, flat back, legs are straight. Exhale, fold everything. Inhale, wing your arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold like an accordion. Inhale, flat back, straight legs. Exhale, fold. Everything is connected. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands at your heart. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold like an accordion. Inhale, flat back. Feel the center of your body opening, the backs of your legs opening. Exhale, fold. Inhale, wing your arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, straight legs. Exhale, fold, bend your knees and hips. Inhale, wing your arms up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Inhale. Exhale, bend at your knees and hips. This time your hands go all the way down to the ground. And in this position, I'd like you to bend one knee at a time and just feel, sense into your pelvic floor and sense into the muscles at the base of your pelvis, almost moving diagonally as you bend one knee and straighten the other leg and then switch. Feel the muscles between your sitting bones at the base of your pelvis, almost like stretching in different ways. Breathing deeply into your low belly, into your pelvic floor. Don't hold your breath. One more time, back and forth. One more, bending the left knee and then the right knee. And then we're carefully going to come down onto hands and knees. So in this position, inhale into cow pose and exhale into cat. So let your tailbone lift, your sitting bones separate, and then exhale, tuck your tailbone under, pull your belly button up toward your spine, pelvic floor is active. Moving from your center, inhale and exhale. Since everything is connected from head to foot, let's bring in a little bit of foot motion. So on your next cow pose, tuck your toes under. And then cat pose, flatten your feet out. Tuck your toes under, cow pose. And cat pose, flat feet. This time, tuck your toes under, cow. Spread your hands out nice and wide. And exhale, press back into a bent knee, downward dog. So really bend those knees. Hands, your fingers are wide. Pressing in, try not to collapse into the wrist. I want you to really press into those outspread fingers. And bend one knee at a time. And again, bring that focus onto how everything in the body is connected. And also that focus in on the center of it all, which is your pelvic floor. Breathing. Sitting bones are reaching up toward the sky. And just play with how it feels to pigeon toe your feet so that your toes are pointed in and your heels are pointed out. And maybe spread your feet wide and see how that feels in your pelvic floor. Go ahead and bend your knees and just feel how that opens and releases and lengthens your pelvic floor muscles. All right, let's take a break from this. So gently, carefully come down onto your knees and sit on your heels and roll out your wrists. I like to do magic hands where I come up and then down like this with my fingers. So wrists lead the way and then fingertips sparkle down. Come up and sparkle it down. Up and then sparkle it down. Nice. Just take a breath into the heart and the pelvis. Everything is connected head to toe, and the pelvic floor is the center of it all. All right, come onto your hands and knees again. One more cat and cow pose. Go into cow pose, tuck your toes under, and exhale back into downward dog. Bent knee downward dog is absolutely fine. Now, we're coming into kind of a tricky situation here, a tricky flow, but it's wonderful once you get the hang of it. So, bear with me. We're going to bring the left foot in toward the center, just an inch or so in, and right leg goes up to the sky. So really reach that right leg up toward the sky. Strong core. Spread out your fingertips. Everything is connected. Fingertips to your heel. It's all connected. Now bend that top knee. Open the hip. So you're in a bent-kneed, three-legged dog. Now this is the tricky part, and I love it. It's such a great hip rotator. You are going to sweep like an arc, like a rainbow, and touch your straight leg knee, and then arc it up. And then swoosh and arc it down like a rainbow, and then arc it up. So great hip rotator work here. This naturally activates the pelvic floor. Keep breathing. Down and up. It's like you're scraping out the inside of a barrel. And one more time, arc it down, touch the knee, and then arc it up. And then straighten out that top leg. Strong through your center, strong through your core. Right knee to right elbow. Now lift it up. Now strong through your center, right knee toward your left elbow, and then straighten the leg and come into fallen triangle. Nice, one breath here. And then bring your top hand down. We're gonna move into pigeon pose. So that right knee goes toward the right wrist and you press into pigeon. Nice. Bring your breath, slow down your breath. And we're gonna bring in some motion. Up and down through your upper body. I like to tent my fingers. One or two more times, we flow it down and up. And on your next time, you can just come down onto your elbows and stay in this really lovely hip stretch. Back leg, make sure it's straight back behind you. And feel a strong stretch in that outer, for me, my right hip, my front hip. You can always use a yoga block under your hip if that's better for you. And just relax. So we're alternating periods of intense activation and activity with complete relaxation and release. So totally, totally let it go. Now, you are going to bring your hands flat on the ground. And for this move, instead of bringing our back leg forward, you're going to bring your front leg back. So I want you to drag and crawl your front leg back and end up in puppy pose. So my hips are right above my knees, like a line. Stretch out. This is a wonderful pelvic floor stretch, a release of your pelvic floor muscles. One more breath. And then you're going to shift yourself forward so you're in a knee plank, knees and hands, strong through the core, body straight like a plank, and come on down onto your belly. Come up into baby cobra. You're going to lift your kneecaps up off the floor, strong through the thighs, and lift your arms up too. So you're nice and lifted, strong through your back body. One more breath. Then hands down, tuck your toes, and press back through your knees into downward dog. So you guessed it, we're going to do the other side now. So I'm going to come forward a little bit. Bend one knee and then the other. Spread out your fingers. Press into your whole hand, not just your wrists. And left leg now goes up toward the sky. Strong core, lifted to the ceiling with that leg. Really pressing back in the shoulders so you're not forward like this. Back. Now bend that top leg, open the hip out to the side, and we're going to do our rainbow arcs. So arc and touch the bent knee toward the straight leg and lift. And arc it down, swoosh, and touch, and then lift. We're getting a lot of external and internal rotation at the hip. And lift. 2 or 3 more here. Keep breathing. Strong through the arms, strong through the body. It's like you're scraping out a barrel, the inside of a barrel with that bent knee. And then come on up and straighten the leg. Lift it up. Strong core and pull the left knee toward the left elbow. And then lift it up. And exhale, pull the left knee toward the right elbow and then straighten that left leg. Come up into fallen triangle. One breath. And then hands down gently. Come into pigeon. So I move that left knee toward my left wrist and come into pigeon. Isn't that just tricky and fun? Breathe deeply. Tend to your fingertips and flow. Think of a wave-like motion of your upper body. This is so good for the fascia that connects everything from head to foot. And then come down onto your elbows and just rest. One more nice deep breath. Great. And hands flat on the ground. We are going to crawl this front knee back toward the back knee. So crawl it back and end up in puppy pose. Hips are over the knees. It's a great shoulder stretch too. One more deep breath. And then shift yourself up. So you're in a knee plank. Readjust anything you need to. Lift your pelvic floor, pull in your low abs, and strongly, slowly lower yourself down. Come up into baby cobra. Bring the kneecaps up off the floor so you're super engaged. And then arms lift as well. Hold it. Whole strong back body. And release down. Tuck your toes. Press back through hands and knees. Inhale and then exhale. Downward dog, bent knee. Look forward and walk yourself forward. And hang out here. So I'm in a strong bend, sitting way back. We're going to go straight into chair pose. So sweep your arms up. Knees are together. Feet are together, and I'm sitting back. Make sure the back is long. The bum is untucked. It's not tucked under. You're sitting way back. Spine long, heart lifted. This is a real thigh burner. So you're gonna feel this. Now stay right where you are. Stay right where you are. You're gonna lift up onto your tiptoes for a little hummingbird stretch, hummingbird pose. So it's like you're a little bird, a little hummingbird, keeping your balance. Now let's fly those hummingbird wings. So just reach your arms up and down, up and down. Everything is connected. Fingertips to your feet, up and down. One more time, up and down. Now if you have it in your thighs, we're going to go down into cosmic egg. So slowly lower down, staying on your tiptoes, and hug around like a little egg. If that was too much for you, don't worry about it. You can just keep practicing. We're now going to find our way down onto our bottom. So sitting down on your bottom, come down into a butterfly position. Hands are behind you, and I want you to just flap your butterfly wings. Flap, flap, flap. Breathing, slowing the breath down. That was a lot of big muscle activation. Those quadriceps probably got a burn there. They did for me. So flapping, flapping, flapping. Now I want you to mobilize the rib cage by doing 3 rib cage circles in each direction. Now go the other way. 3 rib cage circles in this direction. Good. And right now, stay where you are with your legs. I want you to really be lifted through your spine, so you're not rounded. Lifted, 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 and strong. Heart is lifted. And I want you to press the soles of your feet together. So press and hold for 5 counts and feel the activation of this entire center line. Active and fired up and turned on. Feel as if you're lifting. So hold it. Press the feet together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. So right now we're moving into the core and pelvic floor and hip toning section. We're still, our fascia is still happy. Our fascia is still loving this, but we are definitely starting to tone a little bit more. So let's do it again. So press those feet together. Lift it through the spine and press. Feel the lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Flap, flap, flap. So again, when you're pressing the feet together, they're just pressing steadily against each other, you should feel an activation through your whole center line of your body and a lift. I don't want you to feel a bearing down, I want you to feel a lift. We're gonna do it one more time. So nice and tall through the spine and press the feet together. Here we go, press and hold it for 5, 4, feel the lift, 3, 2, 1, and release, flap, flap, flap. All right, we're gonna do another exercise that's gonna fire up the center line and tone up our inner thighs, pelvic floor, and our abs. So I want you to bring your legs together, use those inner thigh muscles. Now stay tall and lifted and engage your pelvic floor. Do a Kegel, do a little Kegel exercise. Squeeze and lift down in your pelvic floor. Hold on tight, stay lifted through the belly, lifted through the spine, and come back into a supported boat pose. Super strong through the abs. Don't let your back round. Stay lifted and tall, fired up through the center line. Hold it, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. All right, cross your legs so that your right leg is in front of the left. Right leg in front. We're gonna switch soon. And I want you to do 3 big trunk circles, heart circles. So you circle forward and exhale back. 2 more, circle forward, exhale back. 1 more, circle forward, exhale back. Go the other way, circle forward, exhale back. Loosening up the fascia, focusing on all the movement kind of starting and originating at your center, at your pelvic floor. Last one. Sit up tall, feet out to the side, just like before, and use your inner thighs, bring the knees up, lift through the pelvic floor, pull in those low abs, and boat pose again. Hold it, heart is lifted, belly is strong, hold it, 3, 2, keep breathing, 1, and relax. Okay, now the left leg is in front of the right, left leg in front, and we're gonna do 3 trunk circles. Inhaling and exhaling. Last one. And go the other way. Keep going, I'm just going to show you from the front. All right, nice job. Come back to the middle. And this time, instead of our boat pose, we're going to do reverse tabletop. So feet flat on the ground, hands behind you, and lift up. So this is working your triceps, the back of your arm, and don't let your butt be saggy toward the ground. Lift it up. Stretching out the hip flexors in the front, strengthening the glutes. One more breath. And release it down. Nice job. I want to take 30 seconds to do a brief meditation before going on with our core toning. You can do it seated like this or on your heels, whatever is comfortable for you. 30 seconds, we're just simply going to breathe and be. Just be still and quiet in your body. Feel the muscles, feel the energy. Feel the activity and aliveness. All right, very good. So now we are going to come down onto the back. So come down onto your back. For the next moves, carefully through your side and onto your back. We're going to begin with options. If it's too much to have both legs up off the ground, if that makes your belly pooch up or it makes you feel downward pressure in your pelvic area, then I want you to just do this right here. One leg up and then the other, okay? But if you feel like you can handle a little bit more, then I want you to engage your pelvic floor and your low abs nice and gently zip up your core. Then you're gonna bring one leg up like this, like tabletop. Strongly engage your core on the exhale, pelvic floor and low abs, and then lift the other leg up to join it. So as we're going through this motion, this prance motion like this, I want you to be sure that your low belly is able to stay pulled in and not pooching up toward the ceiling. So keep everything nice and engaged. Don't let your low back arch like this off the ground. We do not want that. So keep everything nice and engaged through here. Keep your rib cage knitted in. Don't let it flare and open up. We want to keep the rib cage knitted in toward the hip bones. Well, not the hip bones, the anterior superior iliac spines, these little hip spikes here. Keep everything knitted in as you bring one leg down and then the other. Breathe steadily, and if you can handle a little bit more, your arms go up. Now this makes it harder, so if it's too much, keep your hands down. If you want more, arms are up. Breathing. You should really feel this in your low abs. Keep breathing. Do not let your low back arch away from the floor. Keep it, everything pulled in and strong. Let's do 3 more on each side. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Cross your right leg over your left. Now you can have your hands down and lift like this. Okay, it's hard work, but give it a try. Or you can have your arms up. Now notice I'm not crunching my upper body, it's all my lower body. I'm using my breath, exhaling to help me lift that lower body up off the ground. Now, even if you're only able to lift like a quarter of a centimeter, that's okay. Just do what you can do. You're gonna feel that activation in your lower abs. Keep going, let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. You should feel a burn. Switch the cross. So now left leg is over the right, and try not to use momentum and just swing. Take it controlled and slow. Oh my gosh, I really feel a burn. Keep going, really squeeze those legs together, activating the inner thighs, activating the pelvic floor. Oh, I don't know, I think we have about 4 more left. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Uncross the legs and carefully lower them down, and we're gonna go into a bridge. So reverse all of that flexion by going into hip extension. So come into that bridge, hold it, and lower. Let's do 8 more. 8, and lower. 7, and lower. Your knees are pointing toward the wall in front of you, and down. And 6, squeeze the buns, and down. 5, keep breathing, and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Stretching out the front, strengthening the back, and then a big long pencil stretch to stretch it all out. Deep breath. Good, good, good. All right. So now we're going to come into tabletop again, but you can actually help your legs up. You can, well, let's not help our legs up. Let's make it an exercise. So strong through the core, lifted through the pelvic floor and the low abs. We bring the left leg up this time. Inhale, exhale, engage the core, everything strong, and bring the right leg up. So now we're in that tabletop position, and I want you to have your hands down and slowly lower both knees down toward the side. Feel the strong core, and then use your core to bring it back to the middle. And then lower down to the other side, and use your strong core to pull it back. So this is a core strengthening exercise for your obliques, for your low abs. Breathe with it. I personally like to inhale on the way down and then exhale to pull myself back up to the middle. All of this core toning is so good for your pelvic floor. Right now you're using your pelvic floor because your inner thigh muscles, your adductors, are turned on, and that activation helps activate your pelvic floor. Everything works together, and the pelvic floor is in the center of it all. All right, this time just go ahead and come all the way down. Let yourself come all the way down. So I am now lying on my left side. I want you to bring your right knee over the top, and left leg or bottom leg is straight. So if this is your right leg, that's okay, just mirror me. So bottom leg is straight, and we're gonna lift up and down with control. Up and down. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold the last one. Hold it. Remember, this inner thigh activation feeds into the pelvic floor. It activates the pelvic floor too. So you're working everything through that center line. That center of your body is turned on, and release it down. Oh my gosh. Now bring both legs up. Let's try a little challenge here. I want you to try to float both legs up off the floor, and you're gonna bring both knees to your chest and down. To your chest and down. This is hard. Let's just do 3 more and down, 2 more and down, 1 more and down, and release. Whoo, that was a lot. Okay, relax down. And our front leg, so now our knees are both bent and stacked. Top leg is gonna go out and forward. Lift the top leg, flex at the ankle, and then bring it down. Bend the knee, open that leg, and then bring it down. Then circle out the leg, circle it the other way, and then straighten that top leg and press it back. 2, 3. Now, this is a routine, a sequence that I learned from a woman named Tandy of Unicorn Wellness, and I love it. So you're gonna straighten the top leg, lift it up, down, and bend, open and close, circle around, circle the other way, straighten that top leg, point the toe, and pulse it back into hip extension. We're going to do that 2 more times. So straighten the top leg, lift, lower, bend, open, close, circle it the other way. Now straighten the leg, point the toe, and pulse it back. Hip extension. 2, 3. Last time here. Bend the knee. Straighten the front leg. Lift. Lower. It's all about going slow. Bend the knee. Open the hips. Bend the knee. Circle it around. Circle it the other way. Straighten that top leg. Point the toe and pulse, pulse, pulse. Ooh, so good. All right, from here, I want to open like a book. So you're just gonna bring both knees open and then close. And open and close. This massages, keep going, I'm running into my wall. This massages out the back of the body. And it opens the hips, it massages the hips. It's a really nice stretch. 1 more time here. And then pause in the middle, back in tabletop. Find your strong core, and let's do our little exercise again, that strengthener, where we tip the knees down, strong core. Use your muscles in your exhale to bring it back up to the middle. Try not to let your shoulders lift. You're keeping your arms and your shoulders glued to the floor as you do this exercise. Arms and shoulders glued to the floor. You should feel it right here in your abs. One more time each side. Here we go. Now, you're going to come onto your other side that you haven't worked yet. So it would be like the other side. Make sure you're doing your other side. I'm simply going to turn around so I'm looking at you and not looking away. But just make sure you're doing your other side, okay? Whatever you're doing, do the other side. So right now, I think this is my other side. I hope it is. I think it is. Okay, so you're gonna make sure that you're doing the other leg. We lift and we lower. We lift and we lower. Keep going, lift and lower and lift and lower. We have 6 more. 6, 5, slow and controlled. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Activating that inner thigh, feeding into the pelvic floor, feeling so strong. Hold it and release. Good job. Now, like we did before, that little challenge move. This is a lot of work. You're going to be strong through the core and use your abs, use your core to bend both knees, floating them off the ground and extend. And bend and extend. Trying not to tip too far back. Let's just do one more. And come back to the middle, both knees bent. All right, here we go for our bent knee series. Again, this is from Tandy of Unicorn Wellness. She taught this to me and I followed along and I loved it. Straighten the top knee and we lift and lower. Bend, open, and close. Circle the hip one way, circle it the other way. Now straighten that bottom leg, point the toe, and pulse, pulse, pulse. Be sure that you're stacked through the hips and you're not rocking back or tipping forward. So again, straighten that top leg, lift the leg, lower, bend the knee, open the hips, come down, circle it one way, pause, circle it the other way, pause, straighten that top leg, point the toe, and pulse, pulse, pulse. 2 more times. Come forward, straighten that top leg, lift and lower, bend, open the hip and lower, circle it out and pause, circle it the other way and pause, and straighten, point, and pulse, pulse, pulse. Last time, bend the knee, straighten the knee, lift, lower, bend, open, strong through the core, close, circle it one way, strong through your core, circle the other way, strong through the core, straighten the leg, point, strong through the core, we pulse it back. Good job. All right, definitely feeling that. So now let's go ahead and just do a little open like a book again. So we open and close. Breathing deeply. And we are going to end with a banana stretch. So banana asana. For this move, you are simply going to take a deep breath first. I'm going to turn the other way. So you can stay right where you are. It's just me turning around. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath before we go into this. Down into your belly. Maybe flop your knees apart and just let everything be loose. And remember what we came to do, which is to remember that everything is connected. Head to foot. The pelvic floor is the center of it all. We can use the pelvic floor for stability and also for mobility. The fascia surrounds everything. The breath unites and connects it all too. So I hope you felt all of that in this practice. And now for our banana stretch, which stretches out those side hips that we were just working so hard. You're going to bring both legs over to one side. This is my left. And then you're going to bring your upper body over to the left as well. Then straighten out the legs. So you're in a banana shape or a half moon shape. Try not to let your shoulders tip up off the ground. We want to keep the shoulders flat on the ground and keep the pelvis flat on the ground. Don't let it tip either. So you're in a half moon shape, flat on the ground. And you can play with this. Walk yourself into a stronger stretch if you want. You can put your hands behind your head if you'd like. And you can cross the right leg over the left foot if that feels good for you. Just make sure that it doesn't let the tipping happen. So you want to stay flat. Breathe into that side body. And this is our final stretch. We're going to do more of a yin yoga hold. Not quite a yin yoga 3-minute hold, but more like a 1.5-minute hold. So a nice long hold of this stretch. Letting our muscles and our fascia completely unwind. Bring the breath to this side body. As you stay in this stretch, you might find that you want to go a little bit deeper into it and go into more of a banana half moon shape. That's fine. Just make sure that your low back isn't overly arching. Mine was, so I had to kind of straighten out my low back and not let it kink and arch so much. So do what you need to do for the last 15 or 20 seconds of our stretch. One more deep breath. Good job. And then to get out of this, bring your upper body to the middle. Uncross your legs if they were crossed. Bend them up and recenter yourself by doing a little pelvic rocks, maybe a little bridge. Maybe even bring your hands behind your back and really lift up into a nice bridge. And then come down and go to the other side. So again, our feet now walk to the right and our upper body walks to the right. And then we straighten out the legs. Oof. Try to keep your hips flat on the ground and your shoulders flat on the ground. Maybe your hands come behind your head like a little pillow. And if you want more, you can cross that left leg over your right. Just make sure that this tipping doesn't happen. You want to keep everything flat on the ground. I always find that my low back is actually arching quite a lot, and so I have to try to lengthen it down so it's not arching like this. So lengthen the low back and breathe. This is truly one of my favorite stretches, and it's so good for opening up the side ribs and the breathing area, the side hips, and the shoulders and chest. If you can go deeper into the stretch right now, you're welcome to. I just encourage you to finish out this stretch. Please don't shortchange yourself by stopping the video right now. Just have another 15 or 20 seconds in this stretch. Breathe deeply. And just be here with me, be here with your body. Take one more deep breath. And then recenter your upper body, uncross your legs, and recenter your lower body. Rock your pelvis. One more round of moving from the center and also realizing how everything is connected because of the fascia in our body, and also connected with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Nothing stands alone in our body. We're completely unified from head to toe. Final bridge, because I think it feels good. Lift and lower and roll onto your side slowly, carefully. Press yourself up. And instead of a full Shavasana, I simply would love for you to join me with your hands on your heart and your pelvis and take a final deep breath full of love and honor and reverence for yourself, for your health. Every day getting a little bit stronger, every day learning a little bit more about your body, and every day loving yourself a little bit more. When you rise up in your health, in your wellness, people around you will notice, you will shine brighter, and your light will impact everybody else. Your radiance will impact everybody else, and it's actually going to help make the world a better place. So, great job today. And if you liked this video, I know it was a long one. Take a deep breath in. As I'm saying this, a deer is walking across my yard. That's pretty cool. Anyway, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment with what really resonated with you, what you liked. And just know that you sharing my work with your friends, with your family, is one of the best compliments you can give me, and one thing that's really, really helpful that you can do for the world. So please share my channel with a friend, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my community. And until next time, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter.